Alright everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Captain's Log. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault. This is Captain's Log 032023. And we're going to start it off on kind of a downer of a note. Let's cue up the music and then we'll get right into things. Alright, well this is being filmed on Friday, the 17th, and I just found out that Lance Reddick passed away. Anybody who enjoys film or gaming will know who Lance Reddick is. He's had many an iconic role during his career. Always loved him. He always exuded this level of class that you rarely see in actors these days. Lance played Charon in the John Wick series, the guy who managed the front desk at the hotel there. You know, what was it called? I can't even think right now. But one of my favorite roles he ever played was in the Horizon Forbidden West and Zero Dawn as Silence, and I assume he's in the upcoming Burning Shores DLC. He also played in the recent Resident Evil. A little miscast in that role in my opinion, but from what I heard he did a great job with it. Lance has always been great, so rest in peace, brother. We'll see you on the other side. But what we're going to talk about this week is this little game that's coming out in June, and it'll be on June 6th, 2023. If you multiply 2 times 3, you end up with 6. So it's coming out on 666. That's Diablo IV. And I know they did that for marketing reasons because, you know, why not? Early access started back on the 17th, 3 days ago, the day that this is filming. And from what I understand, it's gone like other Blizzard early accesses where it's all messed up. I've seen some of my friends on Twitter that opted in for the early access and they're waiting 100 some odd minutes. They're getting in, playing 10 minutes, and then getting booted out, and it's a total cluster. So I'm not, glad I didn't take part in that. I wasn't planning on really taking part in the beta. I got a lot going on this weekend, and I knew I wouldn't really be able to dedicate any time to it anyway, so there's that. Hopefully they get things squared away before the end of the weekend. Otherwise, we're just going to, have a bunch of pissed off players that tried out the early access beta, and they're probably not going to, I'm sure it won't impact too many people buying the game, but, there may be a certain amount of people that get pissed off by it. So, who knows? We'll see what happens. Regular open beta starts on March 24th through the 26th. So, that's a second opportunity. And again, I don't think I'm going to participate in that one either. I want to go into this game fresh. I know a little bit about it. Well, actually, I know a decent amount about it. I haven't gone too deep into detail because I don't want to ruin things and spoil things for myself. But from my understanding, the early access beta can get you up to level 20, and I believe the open beta 25. I don't think progress carries over into the main game when you start. The early access beta only allows you to play 3 of the character classes. There are 5 in total, whereas the open beta will allow you to access all 5 of them. So if you want to join in and you've pre-ordered, feel free, man. Have fun with it. Let me know what you think down in the comments below if you like this game, if you're looking forward to Diablo IV. I've played Diablo since Diablo 1 25 years ago, which is a very simple game and a lot of fun. Highly addictive. My buddy Andrew and I, it was the first game I remember playing online. And we used to play it on PC, and we'd troll people and PV, kill people that joined us in games and stuff and steal all their crap and piss them off. Yeah, we were like, we were first generation trolls back then and bullies. So, a lot of fun. Diablo 2, I played probably close to 10 years. I probably played that game. Between all the different classes that were available, if I remember correctly, there were 7 total by the time the Lord of Destruction came out and introduced a couple more classes. I think it threw in the Druid and I don't remember what the other one was. But in any case, a lot of fun that game. The Lord of Destruction expansion just made it better. I still remember battling Mephisto and Baal, and oh god, it's just so much fun. Then I ended up getting a mod for it. I don't remember what the mod was called, but it totally revamped the game in such a way that it was almost like a brand new game, which breathed new life into it and allowed me to play it even longer. So yeah, good times there. Diablo 3, when it came out, I know it had some serious issues with the way you could trade your equipment and items and stuff like that. And I believe there was an auction house or something where people could bid real money on it, if I remember correctly. I don't remember all the details of it. I didn't jump into 3 right away. When it came out, I wasn't too sure about it. I'd heard too much, like, I think it had an always online requirement, and if I remember correctly, where I was living at the time, I didn't have a very good internet access. So, there's a lot of factors that went into it. I did eventually get it and loved it, but by the time I got into it, Blizzard had fixed all those issues that made it do so poorly in the beginning as far as the way people looked at it. And I remember people bitched about how the colors were too bright and, it was almost cartoonish and yada yada. When I got into it, I was like, well, it's definitely brighter than 1 and 2, but it suited the game. And I do like the way the developers responded to it by creating that like special cow world or whatever that you could go into. It was the magical world where the grass was bright green, the sun was out, there were rainbows and clouds, and everything was brightly colored and cutesy and fun. And that, to me, that was hilarious. If I remember correctly, there were unicorns in there too to kill and stuff like that. So, it kept the game just as bloody and gruesome as it was, but it just made it this big, cheery, pretty thing. So now we got Diablo IV coming around, the most recent iteration. This one, the big bad, is Lilith. From what it looks like, not Diablo. I'm wondering if Diablo is going to make an appearance, or are they saving him for a DLC, which is inevitable. Diablo IV will have a battle pass. We've been informed of that right off the bat. So the battle pass at this time is being stated that it will only have cosmetic items. So you're not going to have to worry about pay to play, or pay to win, I should say, where if you're going to go the PvP route, that the best equipment is going to be locked behind battle passes and microtransactions. It doesn't look that way, at least that's the intention. Everybody knows about Blizzard's Diablo Immortal fiasco that came out a couple years back that really pissed off pretty much everybody, but made millions of dollars. I don't get it, whatever. It was a mobile game for phones, and I think you could get the app on the computer too or whatever, but I had no interest in it, never played it, never will. I like Diablo, I love Diablo, but I just couldn't support that model. I remember one guy looked into how much money it would take to buy your way to, I guess, the best gear and all that. And it was just, I think, tens of thousands of dollars, if I remember correctly. It was insane. Correct me if I'm wrong, let me know down below, but it was a lot of money in any case, and it's just stupid. They design these games so, well, yeah, you can grind it out and get all the best gear, or you can pay this money to get there sooner. But what they don't tell you is the grinding will take you 40 years, It's just ridiculous. So, Diablo IV looks like Blizzard settled down and said, you know what? Let's not be too greedy. We'll do a battle pass and we'll make a little extra money that way. And I don't begrudge them that, man. If you want to spend the extra $10 per season or $20, whatever it's going to cost, that's fine. Everybody's going to have access, from my understanding, to a basic battle pass that will allow them to enter into each season. I guess the seasons are going to offer different rewards and different challenges and stuff like that. So that's cool. That's the kind of thing you do to keep a game like Diablo alive over, a period of 5 years, however long they plan on supporting it. I don't know at this point, but that's how you do it. You do it just like that. You keep it going. Diablo 3's been out, I think, over 10 years now, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been quite a while. These games have some life to them, and that's fantastic. There are 3 versions of the game that you can buy. The first one being just the basic standard edition, which is the game. And if for some reason it gives you stuff for Diablo 3, World of Warcraft, and Diablo Immortal cosmetics for all that, which is silly, but whatever. They're trying to cross-promote stuff, I get it. But, why would you do that? I would just give the basic set, the basic game, and, a pre-order bonus or something that goes for the actual game that you're buying, not for something you may not play. I have Diablo 3. Will I ever play it again? Well, now that 4 is out, I doubt it, I'm not going to play World of Warcraft, and I'm sure not going to play Diablo Immortal, so that's silly. The Digital Deluxe Edition is a little better. Digital Deluxe is going to give you 4 days of early access to Diablo 4. So instead of the 6th, you're going to be able to play it on the 2nd, which is a Friday, and I've already put in for the day off and told my girlfriend not to expect to see me that weekend. She will be a widow for a few days while I get into the game for the first time, so she's pretty understanding. I'll handle that. It also gives you a seasonal battle pass unlock for Diablo 4, the Temptation mount, and the Hellborn Carapace mount armor in Diablo 4. So it gives you some real bonuses for the game, including the battle pass, which if you were going to buy a battle pass, maybe the $20 difference would have covered that. I don't know. Again, I don't know how much the battle pass is going to cost. The Ultimate Edition, which is another $10, so $30 more than the regular, you're looking at $70, $90, and $100 for these 3 tiers of games, is going to give you, again, the 4 days of early access, plus all those stupid cosmetics for the other games. An accelerated seasonal battle pass unlock in Diablo 4, which includes a premium seasonal battle pass unlock plus 20 tier skips and a cosmetic. So the deluxe edition is unlocking a battle pass. The ultimate's unlocking a premium seasonal battle pass. So I'm wondering if there are different levels to the battle pass. This is what's making me think there might be. And you know, what's the difference in price? So we'll have to see when it comes out. I'm kind of curious about that. It's also going to give you the Temptation mount, the Hellborn Carapace, and this right here, worth all the money in the world, the Wings of the Creator emote in Diablo 4. Whatever. It's silly. But there's your 3 editions. Most people are probably going to go with the standard edition, although the Digital Deluxe for an extra $20 is very tempting. More, I know we saw this with Hogwarts Legacy, where you got a few days of early access if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition, and it looks like more games are going to probably start doing this, and you know, that's cool. I mean, if you want to do that, if people want to pay the extra money to see it early, then you know, more power to them. That's pretty awesome that you have that ability. I don't think that's going away. I will be playing this early. Like I said, I put in for the day off and already preemptively explain to the girlfriend where I'll be that weekend. So, you know, maybe she'll stop by and do a wellness check on me at some point and show up with an IV bag of fluids and some crackers so, you know, I don't waste away and die while playing the game. But it should be a great weekend. It should be a lot of fun. We'll be creating a lot of content for this game. There are 5 different classes available for the game, and these are all classics from the older games, like the Barbarian, for instance, who was in Diablo 2. He was always focused on melee and that sort of stuff. And each of these classes, there's a lot going on in this game, and we'll get into some of that. I'm not going to go too deep into that because I don't want to. I just want to keep this pretty basic. Okay, so we start with the Barbarian, who is, of course, the melee-based character, able to use multiple weapons. He has war cries and so forth. Then you got the Druid, who's totally badass looking. He looks kind of like me. He's got the big beard, and he's burly and covered with dead animals. Well, I'm not covered with dead animals, but I would be if I could be. You know, if I lived up north, I'd have no problem with that. But he's a shapeshifter, and he commands the power of earth, wind, and fire, or earth, wind, and storm, unleashing nature's wrath, which is sweet. You got the Necromancer, who is a favorite of not just me, but a lot of Diablo players. This is a classic character from Diablo 2, and they eventually ended up putting behind a money wall for Diablo 3 as an expansion, you know, the Necromancer one, whatever, which was an odd choice, but hey, it is what it is. But they're summoners. They always brought up skeletons and golems and stuff like that, so really, really cool stuff. Bone, blood, and shadow magic is what they deal with. Then you got the Rogue. The Rogue is the master of ranged weapons, bows, and I believe there were spears involved in Diablo 3, if I'm not mistaken. But this one, from what I understand, is going to have the option to pursue a melee-type build or a ranged build, so that's kind of cool. We'll see. Poisons and shadow magic, which is kind of neat. And then, of course, we got the classic sorcerer, the mage, the magic wielder, whatever you want to call him. Ice, fire, you know, the standard spells of a mage. Very popular class, always. Probably my least favorite of them all. I was never much of a magic user in these games. I preferred the big bruising barbarians, the paladins, the necromancers, the weird. I even like the. I had fun with the druid. I even like that weird witch doctor character from Diablo 3, which was kind of strange, but it worked. But it worked. So there are several different regions in Diablo 4. Skogsglen is it looks like your standard fantasy setup with the trees, the grass, the rocks, the ruins. You got the Fractured Peaks, which looks like a cold, wintry area. The Dry Steppes, which the architecture of the statues that I see in the picture, they look kind of Indian in nature, like they're drawn from Hindu mythology, maybe. But it's dry and dusky. Then you got Hawazar, which looks to be like a swampland. There's a lot of fire, a lot of smoke. Pretty grim looking overall. Sweet looking area. And then Kyrgyzstan, which looks to be like mountainous, maybe deserty too. The name itself kind of gives you a Middle Eastern feel to it with the Kyrgyzstan, like a Pakistan or Afghanistan, something like that. So it might be kind of modeled after that type of region here on Earth. But those are the different regions that we've got. We've got strongholds you can take over and clear out, making little safe spaces. Not the kind you find on the internet, but like actual safe spaces. And you got PvP involved, all kinds of fun stuff. So this game looks like it's going to be a blast. It's going to be featured on this channel quite a bit for a while. I invite any of you who are Diablo fans to come join me in playing. I will be setting up a special spot in my Discord server to talk all things Diablo, and you guys can use that to hook up with each other and go out and run missions. I will be doing live streams, so if you want to join me on live streams, feel free to do that. This is going to be a big game. It's going to be around for a while, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm looking forward to it immensely. And hopefully you are too. So anyway, if you found this video enjoyable at all, please leave a like on it down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and yeah, rest in peace, Lance Reddick, man. We miss you, bro. He was definitely talented. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, peace.